Alrighty. So, first of all, thank you for all the love yesterday on the shit hitting the fan video. I think that's one, that's knowledge that I learned with my therapist. The magical, mystical Donna Morgan and her mojo, and it is something that doesn't, sorry, it's not on Do Not Disturb. It is something that does not make sense until you start to experience it, and when you're on a healing journey, right? Because a lot of people can take that momentum of shit hitting the fan and stay stuck in it, right? They can, and it is, I want to say it's a choice. I do. I really, really do. But having been through, what I would call pretty severe trauma, growing up, obviously I work with a lot of people that have been through trauma, and again, I'm not even going to compare. I mean, there's some serious shit out there that you look around and you're like, how are you even a functioning adult? Like, with the stuff that you have been through, how are you a walking, talking, breathing, living, money-making, somehow managing to take care of yourself, maybe taking care of kids, like adults? Like, how, are people this resilient? But, having been through stuff myself, I will say 100% that when I was in my marriage, everything during that time was fight or flight. I mean, I still did have moments of my intuition shining through, starting my physical therapy business being probably one of the biggest ones, where it was just, like I said, I want to own my own physical therapy business. And then, letting my boss know, who I worked for only a handful of months before being presented with the offer, and telling him that, and then having the offer presented to me, and then being like in the shower, one day, if I did, what would I call it? And OS. Oh, okay, well, what would OS stand for? Orthopedic and sports specialist. Like, I mean, I literally was in the flow. Like, I was asking questions and they were just coming, the answers were coming to me, like, and it was great. And like, even though things, I mean, I was in fight or flight. If you would have told me then that fear is a choice, I don't know, because I also know that if you would have told me at the time that I was in an abusive relationship, or an abusive marriage, an unhealthy marriage, I know I wouldn't have seen that. I didn't understand that at the time. Like, I'm still learning, and that's another video that I wanted to post, because of the universe communicating with me as I'm attempting as I got the desire to go on a date, and this is all digression, so thank you. But I loved everyone's responses yesterday, and that was the thing for me with my marriage. When shit hit the fan, things were bad. The house was a mess. My ex was not working at all. He was refusing to get a job. He was, saying that he, quote, supported me and my dreams with the physical therapy business, and I'm just not, not gonna go there. But and it was all because I was allowing it, right? But during that time, I also, have never been one to be, quote, afraid of germs. But that being said, there are people that are, and did I listen to things that were like, oh, this is toxic, that's toxic, you know? Yeah. Did I, you know, run out and try to, actually, well, no, that was during my NDE. I did buy some glass Tupperware instead. My pantry is now back full of plastic and glass, because let's be real, plastic is way more convenient, especially when you have kids and they can just go in there and grab the various sizes and fill it up with what they want, and take it with them in the car, and I don't have to worry about it dropping, and even if it's the glass, I don't have to worry about it dropping and breaking or anything like that. So, you know, for me, it's just one of those things where now I've chosen to be like, does it contain BPA? I don't know, sure. Somebody did some research, and I promise you that video is coming, and that's kind of what I got on here to say, is that so many of you have asked me to leave a video about the whole science being BS thing. And it is and it's not, and I'll explain that in the video, so thank you for for being patient. I promise, bless you, Lily, I promise it's brewing. It's like when I get these ideas, I'm like, ooh, and half the time it's just I need to come on here and word vomit and see what comes out, and just trust that what needs to be said comes out. But sometimes I like to brew and think about it in my head before I come on here and start the video, and I swear somebody told me the other day, you know, reminded me, like, hey, people are asking you to leave this video about science, like in quantum and the wave and the particle and all that stuff, and just get on there and do it. And I walked by this sign as I'm taking Passato for a walk, and it said science is real. I don't know what the rest of it was. It was like just this like sign posted in somebody's lawn. I was like, okay, I hear you, I'll leave the video. And now it's been 2 days and I still haven't left the video. So I promised I will. But that was, you know, with the Tupperware, it was like, you know, I don't know if it's bad for me or not, but it's convenient, and I don't know if the BPA breaks down, if it's gonna kill me or not. I don't make me get cancer. I don't know, but it's convenient and it's easy and it makes my life easier, and so I'm gonna use it. So, like I said, I've gone back to using a lot of plastic Tupperware, and that's a conscious choice that I've made. But that being said, I can empathize with people who are in it, deep in the shit, the fight or flight. So thank you guys all so much for the love yesterday, and I loved hearing all the stories of the crap that you guys have been through before you started leveling up. And that's the thing, is now it needs to be like on a healing journey, right? Like, if you're just going through the daily motions and the routine and there's not the room for change, there's not the room for improvement. So this is where I want to go with it today, is now I want to play around with it and I want to have fun with it. And I have talked about that I literally live in a completely different reality than I did 2 years ago. And the example that I gave with my dog, you know, 2 years prior, almost to the day, being on a dog beach and him, quote, attacking another dog and being thrown to the ground by the owner, and just all the stuff in the owner, you know, like coming up with blood and saying that my dog bit him and this and that. And, I mean, my dog doesn't have teeth. Him and Bella, the pit bull, used to get in fights, and Passato would have like a big, you know, gash in his ear, or a big tooth puncture in his head or something like that, and she really hates her car seat. She does. I guess I don't blame her. I like to sit and I like to look around, and that's one thing that I guess that Lily and I don't agree on. I love car rides. She's not always the biggest fan of them. But, you know, so could Passato have drawn blood? I don't know. Maybe he never drew blood with Bella or me or, you know, anything. But could he? I don't know. Sure, maybe. But, you know, then fast forward 2 years later and my dog getting loose and the couple coming to drop him off and their tiny little dog jumping out of the vehicle and running straight into my house like, hey, you know, I'm here. And Passato being super just chill with his dog, right? And them not saying anything about, you know, my dog misbehaving, just being like, hey, we found your dog at the dog park. Or not at the dog park, we found your dog at the park. And, you know, here it is playing with our dog. And that's the difference in the healing that I went through and what became my reality. So then I decided, and this is where I want to go with this, is can I have some fun with this? And now we're going to be in a line for me to get a salad. So she's really not going to be happy with me. And this is a tough one for me because so often I really just want to grab her and stick her, you know, here and wear her. And you know, that worked some when she was little, but she is bigger now. She moves around a lot more. She's a lot more distracting now. And for me, I feel too distracted now letting her do that. Like if I'm a passenger, that's a different story. But being the driver, just not, it's too distracting. So I give her toys. I try. I don't know, Lily, what do you want to entertain you when you're in your car seat? How do I do this? Because half the time, whatever it is ends up off the side, even if I, like, attach it to the strap so that it stays with her. Whatever it is ends up off the side of the seat. And I don't always have kids with me, the older kids, to just hand her back a toy. So, and apparently she does not share the love of just enjoying a car ride like I do. So the experiment that I want to do now, a conscious one, is learning about relationships. And you know, that was the example in the Instagram post that I left yesterday, is I think the universe is teaching me how to build healthy relationships instead of how to build trauma bond relationships. And it's really funny because, of course, that didn't dawn on me what was going on, but I knew that the guy that I had met on the dating app, super sweet, super cute. I can tell he has empathy. I don't get that same vagina radar. I know, you guys know. I mean, just own it. It's one of my gifts. But I don't get that same vagina radar that I do get when people, and here's a trigger to work through, right? The crying, the baby crying, because I know she's okay and she's safe and she is, but it starts to give me anxiety when she's crying. It does. But then, like, what do I do? Just never go anywhere? Never drive anywhere? I don't know. If y'all got tips, let me hear them, please. Maybe this is just because I need to work on it and let go of my anxiety and maybe even do some tapping or something like that, or Ho'oponopono or something now, because the crying makes me want to go rush to her and rescue her, right? And even though I know she's safe, she's fed, she's just bored. And she's even got her puppy next to her. but all the toys have gone. Bye-bye. So, let's see if I can just hand her a toy. And, so, you know, I asked the universe, and I think it went one better. I said, you know, I feel like there are red flags, and I feel like you're trying to tell me that, and I feel like I'm probably ignoring them. So if I am, just send me a giant red flag, just like a literal, like, not like, and it's funny because I said not like a symbolical red flag, but just send me a literal giant red flag to be like, hey girl, you're not listening. And it didn't. Universe, spirit guides, my higher self was like, no, we're not gonna, but we will send you exactly what we mean by red flags. And so I log in, I go on my Facebook at least once a day, and or my Instagram. I do spend a lot less time on there than I used to, but I do also know how. Did I put that on Do Not Disturb? I did. Okay. Somebody who's on the approved list, for the important context list for when it is on Do Not Disturb. So, and I do get signs on Instagram and Facebook, maybe because they, that's just the language that the universe and I have decided that we'll communicate with. So again, they're not shaming me for how much time I spend on Instagram. I'm the one shaming myself. They're the ones encouraging me and putting posts up there that I need to see. So right after I had asked for the sign, not even an hour later, I'm on Instagram and I'm scrolling through, and I see a new friend's post who somebody that I met while hiking, and I really like her posts. They're great. Her and I seem to resonate a lot. So maybe we'll get to connect more, which would be awesome. I think she was quite a bit in front of me though, so she might not be a mosier like I am. But in here, so I'll share it with you. The post that she had posted, that was the universe's way of telling me that, yes, sweetie, we are trying to tell you that there are red flags, but instead of just sending you a giant red flag, we're actually going to take the time and explain to you what we mean by red flags. So this is the photo that popped up, and I love it, and I know there was another one that came up that I'm not going to share, another kind of like red flag warning on Facebook that came up that I was just like, oh, okay, maybe I should listen to that red flag, and it was because it was something that popped up on Facebook that correlated with something that I kind of ignored as a red flag with this person, but it was definitely them playing the victim role in the reason that their marriage had ended, and it was something that I was most definitely ignoring. So again, I asked the universe a question, and I was looking for a big red flag, but instead it delivered the answer to me via this, and I really like this, because then it gave me that chance to look back at the conversations that I'd been having with this person, and realizing that it actually kind of became one of my old patterns of they, not right away, but after a few conversations, I did notice some victimization with the reason that their marriage ended, and I'm not going to go into all the red flags, but I'm just going to say that I did then pay attention to, oh wait, now this is becoming you consoling this person, and yes, I do definitely agree with being open and sharing, but I have been through a lot, but I think I chose to go through all that to show I can make it through it and come out the other side, and so this was really, really great to see, and I think the biggest takeaway from this wasn't negativity, things that I need to cut out of my life and out of my relationships, but more so paying attention to the true love side. And the thing that really got me was the connection is physical, sexual, emotional, and intellectual. because I am also a very physical being and, you know, enjoy sex, who, you know, not everybody does, but, you know, there are a lot of us that do, and that's good too. And, you know, getting over a lot of shame with that as well. And I've had great people encouraging me there. And, but for me, the biggest thing that I realized, and now we're going to the bank, and she's still just, you know, she keeps dropping all the toys I give her, and I don't know how to keep giving her more. And it's just the little things of, hey, Mama, I'm letting you know I'm not very happy here. I'd rather be held by you, and I get it. But sometimes I need to do errands, and I don't know yet how to do this one, except for, you know, doing all my errands on a day when I have the nanny and leaving her with the nanny, which maybe, I don't know, let me know some of your other thoughts. What have you done to help make being in the car seat more comfortable for your kiddos? So the thing that really stuck out to me wasn't, oh, this relationship is bad, I need to, you know, cut out negativity. It was more, oh, there's one thing, at least for me, that is lacking, though, is the mental stimulation. I am a very emotional person. I'm a very compassionate person. I'm an empath, and I 100% believe that this person has empathy. I do think this is a cyclical challenge. I do think it's, you know, my soul's way, the universe's way of saying, are you ready to notice it this time and not fall into the trap? But for me, one of the things that's missing is that mental stimulation, becoming a conscious being and wanting other people who are conscious on this journey as well, who aren't still in fight or flight, who aren't just reacting. And that's one of the things that he kept saying was about his marriage is, well, I'm not a quitter, well, I'm not a quitter, well, I'm like, okay, so that's a pattern of his, right? Now, is this somebody that I could have a healthy relationship and be like, you know, do you recognize that that is a pattern, and is that something, you know, to work through? And I want somebody who can see stuff like that in me and help me grow. I don't want to be in a relationship where I'm fixing somebody or trying to fix them, especially if they're not realizing or not wanting to, you know, like they are who they are, and you need to love somebody unconditionally. But I will say that for me, the whole loving somebody unconditionally, I want somebody who's going to help me have, who's going to be willing to have some of these conversations with me and help me see things and help me grow. And I'm doing that, you know, for myself through asking myself questions like this, and then, you know, waiting for my higher self, my guides, my universe to, and I do, because I know, you know, like my grandma, my grandpa, Snickers, like I know there's ooh, that's one I haven't asked for. I would like a sign from Teddy, my childhood kitty cat, that she's here with me too, because she was such a joy as a child. She was like the cat that was more like a dog, that was, she's so friendly. She would let all my friends hold her and carry her, and she wouldn't come greet me right away. When the doorbell rang, she would go upstairs and watch and see who it was at the door, and then she would look down and then let Samantha, my dog, greet, you know, whoever it was, and then she would come and she would greet. She just such an amazing cat. But, you know, I'd like to know, like, hey, maybe she's there, and Samantha, like, you know, or my childhood pets, you know, are they still here with me too? But why not? That's fun. So see, I asked a question, and now I'll let you guys know when I get the answer. But the thing I'm saying is, like, I want a partnership. I want friendships. I want people in my life to help me continue to heal. that can call me out now on some of these things. And I remember after leaving my ex-husband, and one of my good friends, one of my employees, was like, yeah, so-and-so, and I were always wondering, you know, if Dave abused you. And I was like, well, why didn't you say something to me? And I was like, yeah, touche, I probably wouldn't have been in a place to hear it. But now I am, and I like having these conversations, and even if, you know, ego hits a little bit, or even if I don't agree, like, it's fun to have these conversations, and the mentally stimulating conversations, and I want somebody who can challenge me mentally, and continue to help me grow, and I love all the outside, you know, people, like I've listed a whole bunch of people, right? Like, for me, a lot of my biggest influences have been Matt Kahn, Anita Moorjani, Joe Dispenza, Gabor Mate, Wayne Dyer now. So those are probably my biggest. And some Brene Brown there too. My self-improvement stuff. And for me, I want, you know, friends and friendships and relationships that are going to help challenge me to grow. And I don't feel like that physical attraction is there with this person. The emotional, the physical might be, but not the mental. And that, for me, is such an important part. And I do want somebody, you know, people who are going to go on hikes and out to eat and stuff like that with me. And that was really fun to do in that singles group this past week. And I just felt like it was very rushed. I'm very much more slow, take my time. Even lunch felt rushed to me. It was like, get in, sit down, order, eat, leave. And I was like, whoa. Like, I'm just realizing I'm much more of a mosier, and maybe that's than most people, or just, you know, that group. That's all. So I love that, and I love that the universe sent me the answer. And so all of this to say that now I think I would like to work on building healthy relationships that aren't in that trauma bond. And I'm curious, because even Pasado still gets so super duper excited when he sees certain dogs. Certain dogs just really, really, really get him amped up, versus every once in a while we'll find a dog where he's chill. So now I'm wondering if that's almost like a trauma bond for him, that overstimulation, maybe that is a trauma, because he gets so excited and he wants a playmate, and I want a playmate for him, but maybe we need to find one that's, you know, more chill. Like his personality when he's at home, he's very chill. And so now I want to work on that with myself and see if in the future this manifests, where maybe he doesn't go quite so crazy over the dogs that are in our reality. Maybe he's more chill with them, and maybe that's because I need to work on my relationships and not having that excitement, that adrenaline rush. And that's probably because it feels exciting, and it brings it back to that the trauma, the what felt normal as a child versus that calm centered feeling. So that's my experiment, and I will keep y'all posted, and I'll date this one and keep you guys posted on the results. So I love you, and as always, I hope you guys have a fantastic day.